Well, I happened to be working for my dad back in August of '69, and you're working for your dad. He was a great man. He had this great company. They made nail clippers, manicure implements, and employed thousands of people in a small town. So I was working there. So that was pretty funny. So I went in his office and I guess you gotta imagine how it sounds to him. I tell him, hey, I want to leave, take off Thursday and Friday, I'm going to a concert, 3 days of music up in the woods, upstate New York, Woodstock. I, so I knew it wasn't going to go well. I could see his expression, and he told me if you go, you know, you're going to be fired. So I said I quit. I quit. So that was that, and I didn't have a job when I came back. I wasn't going to miss that concert, I'll tell you that. Woodstock sounds nice, peace and music. They had a nice logo. They had great bands. 3 days of peace and love. I mean, right up to a certain point, my life was. You could just watch that reruns of Happy Days. I mean, I really was that guy. And then late in the '60s, I guess that's why they call it the counter-revolution. I went from wearing Hush Puppies and cardigan sweaters and having short hair and going to the soda shop to smoking pot, growing my hair long, and going to Woodstock and concerts and protesting the war. So we were a whole different breed than our parents. According to us, they were uptight, out of touch, had no clue what was going on. I had many arguments with my parents about marijuana and the war. We definitely had big differences of opinion. It always felt like there was something going on too. A big giant happening, and Woodstock kicked it off. That was like the biggest happening at the time.
Why do you think so many people showed up to this one concert?
Well, that's a good one because naturally it's easy to see why I went. I mean, the concert was only a couple hours away in upstate New York, and that was the other shocking thing when I got there. There was people from everywhere, California, everywhere, from the whole country. They got there. Some of them people got there 2 weeks ahead of time. We got there Thursday. There's probably already hundreds of thousands of people there, and they just kept streaming in, just endless people. That was totally amazing just to see that many people. That's what I remember more than the music. I remember the people and everybody. It was just, it felt like maybe you live in a small town and this and that, and you had long hair at the time, and maybe you get some harassment or something, but up there, it was all so many of us, and I think that's what shocked the nation. I don't think they had any idea there was that many people. To see 400,000 or that many people all at once, so-called hippies and druggies, and that shocked the nation, I think. It was like the greatest music concert of all time. So unexpected. It really was. It was fantastic. The music was fantastic. Seeing all the people was fantastic. You felt like you were part of a giant, you really were part of something. It was very enjoyable. I mean, even though it was raining, there was a lot of mud. You see the movies now. I think the movies made it be the movies and the concert. They did a fantastic job filming it, and the movie was great. And the music was great, and I think that led to the legend of Woodstock. But to me, it was just one big giant music festival, hanging around for 3 days with all your friends, and it's like you had 400,000 friends. I wasn't in that big mud puddle. I had a tent. And I spent a lot of time backstage watching them fly in, seeing Janis Joplin getting out of an airplane, because I mean, out of a helicopter. They couldn't bring, they couldn't drive in because all the roads and everything were blocked. But I left before Hendrix, and I wish I had stayed for Jimmy. There was only, the movie makes it seem like there's a lot of people left, but they held Hendrix out to the end. But after 4 days, you're out of food, you're tired, you're hungry. So we left. I think there was only 20,000 people there to see Hendrix, and he gave. That's why I'm so glad they captured it on film. He played the greatest national anthem. It should be adopted as our national anthem. It was fantastic. It's totally amazing because of the amount of people. Everywhere you looked, over mountains, over hills, on the roads. I was 2 miles from the stage in a tent. I erected a tent, and I had more than most. I had some food and I had some ice. It melted after a couple of days, so I was prepared. I had a couple of days worth of food, and we were prepared, Linda and I. Shortly after we got married, we went there. Almost all my friends went. We all went. Just about everybody I know. And also, they filmed it, and it made a very, very good movie. So it lives on in the movie. And then the music album was fantastic. And I went to see the movie after. It was a fantastic movie. They did a tremendous job with it. And I think, so it was like way before MTV. It was like a music video of Woodstock. I think if they hadn't filmed it, it'd still be a legend, but I think the film and having all those pictures and images really did a lot. Now myself, this is my favorite story that I tell everybody. I took a camera to Woodstock, and I took 2 pictures. And I didn't even take them of the crowd or the hill, the famous hill with the hundred thousands of people sitting on it. I just took a picture of Linda and I standing outside the tent. That was it. I had a whole reel of film, never took another picture. So there's my Woodstock story.